Shot put, Sport and Skill Analysis AT1, Brianna Taylor, 199-35325. In today's lesson, Max here will be learning the athletics event of shot put. Max is a grade 6 student who has had prior experience with athletics events such as long jump and running, but not shot put in particular. Max loves basketball and football. Max is at an intermediate level of physical education at school. Before beginning the lesson today and completing our activities, I had to look at the environment we were learning in. We're using a tennis court. A few areas I considered before conducting the lesson were, is the environment safe and is the surface appropriate? As there were sticks lying around, I picked the large ones up and removed them from the tennis court. I then walked laps of the tennis court to see if the surface was appropriate, and it was. Is there a safe distance between groups? Max and I were the only two people using the tennis court, so we didn't have to worry about other people's safety. Is the equipment appropriate? Equipment was modified for the lesson. A real shot put, weighing 2 kilograms, was used for the standstill practice, and we did not throw this on the court. It couldn't be thrown on the court as it can affect the turf. A larger, lighter shot put was used to throw and execute the final complexity of the skill. Can all students hear me? Max was asked if I could be heard across the tennis court. This was all good. Max could hear me from every aspect of the tennis court we were using. Due to the sun smart precautions were also being taken, such as putting on sunscreen, and both the teacher and the student wore a hat. This lesson will be conducted using the acronym FISH: Fun, Inclusive, Safe, and High Involvement. The resources we used today throughout this lesson was a shot put, a tennis ball, a softball, hula hoops, bean bags, a balance board, cones, and a rope. But instead of using the rope today, we used an electrical cord as I didn't have access to a real rope. There were 4 phases we went through today. We had the preparation, the momentum building, the delivery, and then the recovery. Today's learning intention was to move from simple to complex shot put, with open and clear communication being used between the student and the teacher. Don't forget that forwards movements are easier than backwards movements. Multiple grade 6 curriculum strands were addressed throughout this lesson according to the Victorian Curriculum and Assessment Authority 2020 for health and physical education. These were: practice specialised movements and skills and apply them in different situations in indoor, outdoor and aquatic settings. Design and perform a variety of movement sequences. Propose and apply movement concepts and strategies. Demonstrate and apply ethical behaviour and fair play that aligns with the rules when participating in a range of physical activities. Before I began the lesson today with Max, I made sure all the equipment was set up appropriately to commence the lesson. I didn't want to be wasting time trying to set up the equipment and then begin the lesson. This is Max completing the warm-up, the game sense approach, and obstacle game. First of all, I put hula hoops on the floor for him to jump in, bean bags for him to throw, cones for him to dodge, and a balance board for him to practice his balancing skills on. There were key coaching points while Max was practicing and executing the shot put used today. That was open and clear communication between the teacher and the student. I clearly stated my expectations to Max at the beginning of the lesson and towards the end of the lesson. I encouraged Max to ask questions throughout the whole lesson, and I started simple with the shot put, and then we moved to more complex shot put. Max was introduced to many biomechanical aspects, such as the height, the speed, and the angle that the shot put was to be thrown at to maximise the benefits of our throw. Whilst Max was executing shot put, he received verbal formative feedback today from myself, so the issue and the problem that he was showing could be rectified immediately. He was analysed formatively using: is he throwing with his palms or fingertips? Is he holding the shot put in the correct area next to his jaw or neck? Are his feet separated correctly? Is Max using his non-throwing arm to aim the shot put in the correct direction? And is his elbow in the right area? Summative assessment was also used today throughout the lesson, as I videoed Max executing the shot put in all 3 stages, from the most simple to the most complex, so that afterwards both myself and Max can rewatch the video, I can create feedback, and Max can also analyse his skill and see what he can fix in the future.
So today we're going to be learning shot put. So we've already done our warm-up drill, we're feeling warmed up, feeling good. So we're going to have 3 different variations of shot put today. The first one is using a real shot put. So the real shot put is 2 kilos, but we cannot throw it on the turf today when we use it because it will ruin the turf. The second variation we're going to be doing is with a tennis ball. This is because we can throw a tennis ball and we can hold it correctly without the weight, so we can practice the skill correctly.
Okay.
The last one we're going to do is with this ball. We're going to do this when we do our most complex type of shot put, and we're going to throw it further.
Yep.
Okay? So, our first simple learning of shot put, feet together. We're going to use the 3 fingers to hold it, with the other 2 to support. We're going to hold it against our neck, just under our jaw, point in the direction that we want it to go, elbow up towards the back, and we are just going to swing and throw. Okay, obviously we're not throwing this because it's too heavy, but we're going to swing and throw, making sure the elbow's up and making sure that we're not doing backwards movements. Okay, backwards movements aren't allowed in shot put, only forwards. Okay, so I'll get you to try that one now, please.
So my feet like this,
Together. Yep.
and then point,
Yep.
and hold them like that,
No, so how are we holding it in our hand?
like that,
Could you correct it to the way we just did? So 3 fingers
like
supporting,
this.
3 fingers supporting, 3
Yep.
3 fingers on it, and then 2 fingers supporting.
Yep, like
Yep.
that. And point,
Against our neck. Yep.
and then
Right. Perfect. Elbow up. Yes. Great work. I think you've got that. I think we can move up to the next step. All right. So the next step is using the tennis ball. Now, because we are the net is there, we're going to be facing this way now to throw it. Okay. So we're going to start feet still together.
Yep.
All fingers, but the 3 are supporting it at the back. Holding it just here, just under our neck. We're going to point, elbow to the back, and throw. Okay? So, sorry, I'm not going to throw it so you can try, so you're going to do that this time, okay? I'm just going to move these because they're not safe being there.
like this.
Yep. Good work.
Like that?
Now, the only thing you have forgotten to do is our feet were going to be together for this one.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
Now that we've learned how to do the movement with our feet together, we're going to learn with our feet separated apart, okay?
Yep.
So our feet should be 60 to 90 centimetres apart. Still the same though, so 3 fingers at the back, the 2 supporting against our neck, pointing, but this time we're going to bend our back knee, okay?
Yep.
So we're going to bend, elbow up, throw, okay?
That's a good try.
So now it's your turn, so do you want to go grab the ball and we can try that? Okay, so now I'd like you to try it. Perfect. So feet apart.
Like this.
Yep. Great. Perfect. So the last variation of shot put we're going to learn today is feet apart. So we're going to be using the bigger ball. So the 3 fingers at the back, 2 supporting it, holding it against our neck, pointing in the direction, and we're going to do 1, 2, push. You want to show me the last skill that we've just learned? Okay. Yep, so elbows up, feet apart.
Yep.
Yeah, are we holding it properly against our neck? Perfect. And how many steps we're going to do? 1,
And then
2, and then bend,
throw.
push. Okay, so could we please do that in full movement? Great work.